Aimee would say that to Aimee as well, to find that strength within herself. And you see that throughout the season. It's beautiful. I love that story. I mean, she's really growing out of this trauma in a sense and growing from it. What was it like to experience this yourself? Because as an actor, you kind of take on that trauma as well, don't you?
Yeah, I think I underestimated how it's like whenever I talk about the bus scene, it happened, it was so embarrassing. The other week I had an interview and it was about therapy. It was like, so what was it like doing the scenes with Gillian? And I started talking about it, and then all of a sudden I was in tears. So I was like, and it wasn't like I was actually sad, but it's almost like muscle memory. It's like there's so, and as soon as I started talking about it as Aimee in therapy, it really like it was straight back to being really present. And I think that it's because it's so relatable, and it's just so true to life. And there are things that happen to us in our lives that just stay with us forever, and they change us. And it's really emotional playing someone who is going through such tectonic shifts within herself. And as Ncuti said, we're like 10 years older than these characters. So you've also kind of got this like weird like protectiveness over them because they're at this different stage of their life. And I think that growth can be so uncomfortable, and it's amazing, but it can feel so difficult and so uncomfortable. And I think when Jean says to you, you're not going to be the old you anymore, she says, and I think that's really hard to hear, but it's also really liberating at the same time, because actually what's kind of like confusing her so much is that she wants to hold on to this person that she was before this thing happened to her. And it's actually like, it's not going to happen. And that's her comfort zone, and she's been stretched out of it. But what's beautiful about that is often when we are being stretched, it leads to amazing things as well. Like the fact that she, the conflict that she has with Maeve, and that is one of her biggest fears in the world, is having an argument, is like actually having to have an argument with someone and a disagreement, and a lot of truths get said within that conflict. And I think Aimee really is courageous there for saying, Maeve, can we talk about this? Because I think that for so long she's kind of, if there's a bit of pain or there's a bit of trauma here, she's kind of gone, I'm just gonna pretend that isn't happening. And this season she's really looking it in the face, and she's looking herself in the face, and she's looking at herself through her own eyes. And I think that it's such a courageous thing to do. And I think that conflict with Maeve really kind of opens her up then for the therapy to really work. And actually she's kind of like, there's a dam that bursts, and when when Jean says it's not your fault, it was not your fault, I think because she's in such a vulnerable space, it really permeates. And I think that's going to be that's going to be another huge shift for Aimee. And she really needed, because I think she knew it logically after talking to the girls and getting on, but she knew logically that it wasn't her fault, but she hadn't quite internalized it properly. She hadn't felt it in the bones of her, which is why she kind of turned the anger on herself and was scared of her own body and thought it was something that she'd done. And she really kind of, she's really gone into the kind of the pain and come out with the truth and out with this new kind of like strength. And also like she's just get bigger and bigger, like with like herself just gets bigger and bigger and more clear.